That didn't sound good.
It's about 10, 15 degrees out now that I'm back here in Montana. The people over at Oro, or however you say that, sent me this jacket. And it looks like just an ordinary vest, you know. But what's special about this thing is it's actually heated. And they sent it just at the perfect time, just right before I was headed back to Montana here. So we're going to give this thing a shot. Here's the battery. I put it on the charger last night. We'll go ahead and plug this thing in and see how she heats up. So all I'm going to be wearing underneath it is my Mountain Metal shirt and a light jacket. So we're really going to see how this thing works out. All right, so the first thing you should know about this thing, the battery goes in there like that. You can see it has a full charge right on your left side. Drop that in the pocket, zip it up. And then right here on the top breast is the power button. Go ahead and hold that for 3 seconds. You know she's on. She should start blinking. It's going to preheat for 5 minutes, I guess. And then after that, it lowers down to a medium heat, and this light here is going to change color. So I'm pretty excited. Oh yeah, it's warming up immediately. Holy cow. Yeah, this thing's warm. Especially up in the neck, and that's nice. I didn't know it. It actually has heat up in here. And that's nice because I do find that the back of my neck gets cold even with a hoodie on because the wind blows inside my hoodie. This thing's fucking sweet. But alright, yeah, let me put it out in the real world and give it a test. Obviously, I'm not going to weld the motherfucker because it'll burn to shreds. But, yeah, we'll see how we like her. So there's that beautiful view, the mountain range behind me, the house I'm working on, and I'm keeping the camper outside because it shouldn't be dropping below 0, and that's when things really freeze up in the camper. So I went ahead and I found a propane leak this morning. I took care of that. The next thing I need to do is hook my water line up. And my water line is heated, just like this jacket is. I don't know if you guys can see them. Yep, you can. A couple of antelope this morning. You can see the ground is frozen solid. This would be mud right now. And here's where my water hose is. All right, let's find the end of this bastard. There it is. So at this temperature, my hands freeze up pretty quick, especially when they're out of gloves, and I have to take them out of gloves to do some of this work. And it's been really nice that I can just stick my hand into my pocket. I turn this thing up to the highest setting and rewarm my hands instead of having to run back into the house. So this thing is saving me a little bit of time. Next thing I got to do is I need to try to get old Car Cole started. She ain't really been ran in a few months. This thing does not like the fucking cold. I'm going to be taking her back to Florida and swapping it out for the black truck, leaving this one here in Florida. But I'm going to cycle the glow plug a few times. And hopefully she'll start up. Let's see.
That didn't sound good.
Oh, she's starting. Oh, he's smoking like a bitch. She's not like this. Not like it at all. Fucking 7.3s, man. She's trying to even out. It really ain't smoking that bad. Usually it's like a fucking train when it's this cold. So clearly the truck has an issue. I think it banged like that because I sprayed a shitload of starter fluid down it. But, so it's going to a mechanic shop here in town. Luckily, there's a dude in town named Wade who's a super 7.3 expert, apparently. So he's going to take a look at this thing, and hopefully he can figure out what the fuck is going on with it. But so far, this jacket is pretty fucking sweet. Like I said, I think my favorite feature is that I can just stick my hand in here and almost immediately warm it up. And I think we're probably like 18 degrees, something like that right now. All right, guys, I got the 7.3 all situated and moved out. This fucking jacket has been killing it. I wouldn't suggest wearing this in anything warmer than 40, 50 degree weather. Probably 40 degree, especially out here, how dry it is. But yeah, it's definitely killing it today. I'm only wearing this and a t-shirt, and it's been 20 down into the teens today. I get sent a lot of Chinese bullshit, and I don't make reviews on it because my mama told me if you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. Ororo is not one of those products. They sent me this fucking thing. I was skeptical, as I always am, but this heated vest is fucking killing it for me right now. This is perfect for the woodworking projects I have going on here in Montana. I'm here in my building, and this is the woodworking project I have going on right now. These fuckers are heavy. I don't like doing this, but I have no choice. Cocksucker. Okay, because these things are not square. Basically, how I got my cut down there as square as I could. I struck a center line down this with a chalk line, and that's where I pulled all my measurements off of. I actually struck 2 lines on this one, but I found a single line suffices. What I have to do right now is I need to open this up a little bit more. I made the hole just a little too small for our bracket, not a big deal, but I'll show you what the conditions are like today. You guys probably can't see it on the camera, but it's snowing like a motherfucker out there. Okay, so I'm gonna be using this skill saw with Prezi beam saw attachment, and we're just gonna go ahead and open up my slat a little bit, take my brackets, and just make sure that they fit in really nice. So this is a pretty interesting little saw. I've never used a chainsaw style beam saw. I've always used a circular saw style when I did all the beams that are in this building. I prefer the circular saw style, but if you're making a slot cut like this, you got no choice but to use the chainsaw style. At least in my opinion. I'm sure there's another way to do it. But I'm no professional woodworker. I'm just an asshole who knows how to make things plumb and square sometimes. Close. Yeah, we're just gonna need to make one more pass through it, it looks like. Yep. Oh, I'm gonna put this right here so I have to lift it again. And again, this is what this jacket is so good for. It's perfect for the woodworker because you can just, like I said, stick your hands up in it real quick, get your hands warmed back up, because the heating elements are right there. And yeah, only like a couple of seconds I really need down in there to get my hands back warm. And that was from touching that piece of metal. That piece of metal's colder than fuck. Okay, so I took about a blade's width, which is a fucking thick blade on this goddamn thing. Let's see if that opens her up to where we need her. Yep, there it is. It's gonna take a little finagling with a hammer possibly, but yeah, I'm gonna need to see where it's tight. Get down there at the bottom. It's right here. It takes a little bit getting used to this thing because of the chain. It's kind of jumpy, but once you get used to it, it's not so bad. All right, looks like we're on now. I don't want to let it go because the fucker will fall. also don't want to lose a goddamn finger. There we go. That looks pretty decent. Thanks, Ororo, for setting this thing out. You're keeping your boy nice and warm. And if you guys are in the market for a heated jacket, you know, like I said again, this is not a welding jacket. Ororo would be a good idea for you guys to maybe make a heated FR jacket. I'm sure it would be very expensive, but there's dudes out there that I know that would buy it. That's my 2 cents, because like I said, you'd burn this thing up in a fucking heartbeat. But if you're doing some woodworking, if you're doing something, no hot work. If you're doing something that isn't hot work, fucking buy this thing. This thing is fucking tits.